I mean, that's the biggest part is God wants, he's a good father and he doesn't want us unnecessarily carrying a lot of stuff. Now, a lot of people, and I find this happens with both physical healing and inner healing, is we can hide behind the concept that, well, I'm just going to carry my cross, right? Now, there is 100% validity to redemptive suffering, right? That sometimes God does invite us to participate in things. But I feel like that shouldn't be our default response all the time, right? I feel like we often go there before we even ask God to heal us, right? He's a good father at first, you know what I mean? So we should always assume that God wants to give us good things. He's not death and sickness and pain were not things he invented. They were a result of the fall. Right? That's really important, right? So a lot of people say God made me sick. He's letting me bear this cross. He afflicted me. Not usually. You know what I mean? This was a result a lot of times of just original sin entered the world. God never wanted a world that had pain and death and suffering, right? So God can make all things like beautiful. He can take horrible things and make them beautiful. But the question is that we need to grow in discernment of like, okay, God, what is something you're inviting me to carry? What is something maybe I'm afraid to get my hopes up that maybe you do want to heal. And so that takes discernment. And it never hurts to ask God, you know what I mean, to heal you, right? Because God's answer to healing us is never no. It's sometimes just not yet, right? Because when we're in heaven, everything's going to be healed. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of when, right? And so I have lots of kids. They're constantly harassing me for things. I mean, when? I'm not offended by that. You know what I mean? They just know I'm a good father. You know what I mean? And I'm going to give them good gifts. And so in the same way, Jesus says, you do not receive because you do not ask. So that should be our default response is, Father, please heal me. I don't want to have cancer. I don't want to have back pain. Can you heal me? And same with our wounded memories. If there's things we're carrying, I think we oftentimes, because we've been carrying it for so long, we assume that this is going to take a long time to heal. Jesus can heal years of trauma in a very short period of time because he's Jesus. You know what I mean? He's Jesus. He can, we underestimate his power. And so I think we need to grow in our confidence and our expectant faith of what God can do. And he's much larger than any pain or suffering we're going through or have gone through in the past.